Pokémon Scarlet, Pokémon Violet, which one should you buy? The Pokémon franchise has always had two different options to choose from ever since the original Red and Blue games, where there's not really been many differences between them apart from a few exclusive Pokémon and a different legendary. Generation 9 is no different, with Scarlet and Violet offering players two very contrasting choices when it comes to the box art Pokémon. So what are the unique factors of each game that might sway your opinion of which one to choose? Well, I'm going to go through them now so you can make an informed decision as to whether you get your hands on either Pokémon Scarlet or Pokémon Violet. We'll start by looking at the theme of each game. So Violet seems to be set in more of a futuristic environment, whereas Scarlet looks like it's based in an older time period. This alone could be a deciding factor for some people, solely due to their preferences of aesthetics. The characters in Violet will wear more high-tech gear that has a clean and almost robotic look, whilst in Scarlet it's much more rugged and old. This has led fans to speculate that Scarlet will be set in the past and Violet will be set in the future, which could make for completely different experiences altogether in terms of interactions you have and the Pokemon that you can encounter. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when thinking about your selection. Also, for the first time ever, each game will have their own unique professor, with Violet having Professor Turo and Scarlet having Professor Sada. It's unclear at the minute how different these two will be, but just from an aesthetic standpoint, you might prefer one to the other. Then we get onto the legendary Pokemon for each game, both of which are dragon types and have really striking designs, not only because of how they look individually, but also because of how much they contrast each other when you put them side by side. Koraidon is the legendary dragon of Pokemon Scarlet with a rough and ready look. Both of them also look like motorbikes with wheels on their front, which is going to make for some really cool riding animations. Miraidon is the Violet legendary, and as you'd expect, looks like a much more futuristic bike with robotic features and what looks to be like RGB lighting, to be honest. What's cool about these guys is that they both have multiple forms for when you're roaming around. They can either be in their natural bike form when on land, then in a swimming build when on water, and finally a gliding build for in the air. The only other aesthetic differences that you're going to notice is when it comes to your school uniform and what the school director is wearing. Seeing as the entire game is based around a school, you're given different uniforms and colours to wear alongside repping a different emblem to represent each institution. So this could be another factor to take into account when considering. Whatever you go with, it all looks great, so there really are no wrong answers here. Moving on now to the exclusive Pokemon that we know about. In Pokemon Violet, you can find the Bagon line, Ice-Q, and of course Miraidon. Then in Scarlet, you'll be able to catch the Larvitar line, Stonjourner, and Koraidon. Two new Pokemon that have also been added in Gen 9 are Armarouge and Ceruledge, with Ceruledge being exclusive to Violet and Armarouge to Scarlet. In essence, they're fairly similar with them both being Fire type, however Armarouge is part Psychic and Ceruledge is part Ghost. There really isn't much in it when it comes to which Pokemon is stronger, but I would personally always choose a Psychic type over a Ghost type, as I believe they're a little bit better. The designs of both of them are amazing and complement the theme of the games nicely, so if you're a little bit on the fence about which one to go for, this could definitely tip the scales in one direction. All in all, it really depends on your personal preference of aesthetics and Pokemon. If any of the listed exclusives are a must-have on your team, then your mind will be made up. Or if you're just much more into old-fashioned aesthetics over futuristic, then that could be a game changer too. As always with Pokemon, the games will be mostly similar, and I'm anticipating them to both be incredible, so there is no way that you can pick a worse version, it all just comes down to preference. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming Gen 9 content, and let us know which game you'll be buying in the comments below.